go to our A's and F's, and Luke will begin with your F.
My F goes to efforts to dismantle the Department of Education. They provide billions of dollars in funding to subsidize college tuition that schools depend on in order to operate.
Nina.
Well, scientists at the University of New Mexico have found that microplastics are entering our brains at much higher concentrations than previously thought, as much as 7 grams, which is about the weight of a plastic spoon. Especially alarming is that the accumulation has increased 50% in just 8 years. It's time for us to rethink our dependency on plastics while we still can.
Chad.
My F actually calls back to a side conversation you had. It's about President Trump's effective closure of USAID. And if you put aside the humanitarian and procedural concerns that the left often focuses on, USAID is an important source of soft power in diplomatic relations, as Luke had said. If the president wanted to reform USAID to make our security goals more explicit, I would have been on board, but this quick closure makes us an unreliable ally, and it does create a power vacuum that China and Russia will be happy to fill.
Rick.
Darren Beattie was a speechwriter during the first Trump administration, but was fired after attending a conference with white nationalists. Then last year he tweeted, quote, "Competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. Unfortunately, our entire national ideology is predicated on coddling the feelings of women and minorities and demoralizing competent white men," unquote. Now, Marco Rubio is planning on naming Beattie to a top Department defense position.
And to the A's, Luke.
My A goes to all local athletes, including many kids who participated in the Empire State Winter Games last weekend. This is a great event in Lake Placid that brings together over 2,000 competitors who compete in 20 different sports.
Nina.
You have heard the expression that there is his story, her story, and then the truth. Well, Black History Month is about more than just celebrating the contributions of Black Americans. It is a time to also recognize that without Black history, there would be no American history. And that fact is not storytelling, it's the truth.
Chad.
I'd like to thank Representative Claudia Tenney's office and the State Department for hosting our students on a field trip a couple weeks ago. Our visits were an excellent reminder of the importance of our congressional staffers and career civil servants in creating policy, running government, and promoting U.S. interests abroad. It was an awesome experience. Super grateful for it.
And Rick.
Melancholy A to the closing of Modern Malt. Occasionally, the panelists on Ivory Tower go out for breakfast after taping the show, and the Modern Malt was one of the places we enjoyed patronizing. Great food and service. Their Barney Rubble French toast was my personal favorite. Understand they'll be moving and trying to serve breakfast on weekends, thanks to Modern Malt and all its employees.
Okay, now, a couple of our comments here referenced the State Department and Marco Rubio. You were talking about USAID, and you mentioned Darren Beattie.
Yes.
And so I wonder, I mean, Marco Rubio, who's considered to be one of the more conventional cabinet appointees, and so is he sort of, you know, on knife's edge here, trying to placate his boss while, you know, doesn't really, I mean, he's taking over apparently USAID within state.
His boss has created a lot of uncertainty, and yeah, it's hard to serve him.
He's in a tough spot,
Yes.
right?